Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hit the like button, hit the share button. I want you to come and get involved as you can. Arsenal 2, Wolves 0. I always give credit where credit is due, and Arsenal deserve that today. Absolutely fantastic. Genuinely a fantastic all-round performance from Arsenal Football Club. They left Brighton in disarray a few short weeks ago. A change in system, 3 at the back. They're packing out the midfield when they're out of possession. They have found a formula. They have found a system, or Arteta has found the system and formula that is now yielding results. And look, you can banter each other. You can have a pop at each other's teams all you want. But there comes a time we have to sit back and say, well done, Arteta, clearly demonstrating that he has tactical nous, clearly demonstrating that he knows how to address problems. He's getting his teams right. And yeah, okay, you could probably look back at the game against Sheffield United and argue there was some luck in that game. And Southampton, it was close and there was a few mistakes that led to goals. But they've won 4 on the bounce. And there comes a point where you have to stop looking at excuses or looking at, a bad back pass or a mistake from a goalkeeper, because there was a few against Norwich as well. Today, it all, for me, came together with Saka and Laka getting the goals. It was absolutely brilliant from Arsenal. Can't say no more about it than that. Absolutely brilliant. They returned to the Premier League with 2 defeats on the bounce and now have 4 wins on the bounce. They played 6 games. 5 of them, by the way, have been away from home. And they walk away with 4 victories in an FA Cup semi-final. And I'm asking you the question right here, right now. Can Arsenal Football Club mount a late charge for a top 4 place? Or is that too far away? And what is it? What is it that Arteta's telling you? Especially you gooners out there that are tuning in. What is it that Arteta, I'm sorry, I'm lifting this chair up. It's a little bit too low. What is it that Arteta's doing for you that is suddenly making Arsenal such a potent force against the teams that they are playing? I want to know. I want your views. I want your opinions. Do me a favor and hit the like and share button. You can call the show. The link is in the description for you to get that done. If you want to come on and have your say. I didn't actually reach out to any of the gooners for fan cams today simply because I've been really busy. I was very engrossed in relation to just watching the game, as it were. But excellent performance, as I say, from Arsenal. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. We're going to win the league next season. Come on, you gooners. If any gooners out there believe that, tell me why. I don't think any of you really do. I don't think you're at the same stage Man United are or maybe Chelsea are, but there we go. And in terms of top 4 race, I know a lot of people don't want to look at it. I know a lot of people think, I don't know. It's too difficult. It's too far away. Rare. And I understand why people would think that. But let's just take a little look now for a moment at the league table as it currently stands for a moment, right? That's really not a good angle. That's not a good zoom. Let me go to this one here. That better? There we go. We can see it a little bit better there. I think Arsenal's victory right now hasn't been updated. I think you just moved on to 49 points. 5, that puts you 6 points off 4th. But remember, Man City might still get a ban. And this is what I keep saying to people. You've got to keep, even if you don't think top 4 is possible, you've got to aim for top 5. Because imagine you miss out, Arsenal, on the 5th place position by like a point, and then City get banned. That'd be gutting. We're going to jump in some calls now. We've got Adele on the line. Adele, how's it going, mate?
Yo, what's good, man, Terry? You had a good day. We had a good day. It's a good day all around.
Mate, without doubt, like Man United killed it today. Arsenal, 4 wins on the bounce. I mean, it feels like a rarity to see Arsenal that. I know a couple of the games were a little lucky, but at the end of the day, you won 4 on the bounce. That's a rarity. What is it that Arteta is doing that suddenly got your team to click?
I think the team is galvanized by the underdog mentality that Arteta has given us over the past couple of games, because we were not the favorite against Southampton. Let's be real. We were not the favorite today. We're not going to be the favorite against Leicester. And this underdog mentality is getting into the team, because when we're the favorite, we usually drop points against teams that we're not supposed to drop points against. And now that we're facing teams that are technically supposed to beat us, and fans shouldn't actually banter us if we lose to a Wolves or a Leicester, the team is getting behind themselves and they're saying, hey, we're not going to lose today. The work ethic you're seeing from the players today, you don't usually see it. And David Luiz getting a yellow card early and not getting sent off with a red card, that's just a good sight to see, man. And defensively, Martinez again deserves all the credit. Goalkeeper has stood on his head, gotten us clean sheet after clean sheet. Leno has an issue when he comes back into this team, because if Martinez keeps it up the way it is, either he's going to be sold for a lot of money or he's going to stay as our second keeper, and Leno has an issue.
I was thinking the same thing when watching it around. Like, Martinez is not. He looks absolutely safe as houses. Now I know Leno is a very good goalkeeper. Makes the odd mistake, odd error. I've not seen a smidgen of that. And the good thing is Martinez is going to have a run of games now to really prove himself. So, but that's a good thing. I think that's what you want. If a player goes out injured or gets suspended, you then want someone to step in and do a good job and create that competition, which is important. I want to spend a bit of time to talk about Saka for a moment, because I think the boy, I mean, DT tweeted during the game that he's the best teenager in the Premier League. Now we know that that is Mason Greenwood. We all know that. But how good is Saka, and where's he ceiling for you?
Oh man, with Saka and Martinelli both signing their contracts this week, that is literally Arsenal's future. You see the present with Lacazette and Aubameyang. You've seen the past with Thierry Henry and even Ozil, and Ozil's in the past now too. You can't even count him as a present. I'm telling you, Martinelli and Saka are the guys that are going to kick on for us. And Saka's versatility is so key to Arsenal, because he played on the right today. At points, he's played in the left. He's played at center mid. He's played on the as a left midfielder. He's played as a cam. The versatility and the raw talent that this guy has, I haven't seen before. I don't even think Wilshere was this highly rated. The amount of positions he can play, and Saka's talking right now, you can see that he's just hungry and he wants to learn. And it's one of those people who are not arrogant. They just want to learn and get better. This was his first goal in the Premier League, but what we've seen from him this season proves to me that he's a talent that matches up with the Greenwoods and the Phil Fodens. And to me, all of them are good for England, and you guys should be happy, and we shouldn't be pushing them against each other.
Oh, I'm not in that way. I mean, I'm an Englishman, so I want them all to do well in that regard. If there's going to be a youngster that comes through at Arsenal and does well, I want him to be English, because it will benefit my country. I at least get half of I get half the enjoyment as an example. But I was looking there, he's got like 4 assists this season, the 1 goal that obviously he picks up today. But and I always say this about any youngster coming through. You need to see moments of brilliance very early on, in my opinion, to know whether or not they've got the makings to be a top player. I look at, for instance, Willock and who's the other lad that's played a lot this year?
Eddie Nketiah.
Nelson. So I look at Willock and Nelson. I see good players. I look at them. None of them are going to be well beaters. They're just good players. They'll go into good. Will they stay at Arsenal? I don't know. Is there better out there? Yes. When I see
the midfield
Saka,
is different though, because even Paul Scholes took 2 years to get used to the Premier League and play like the level of a superstar.
Yeah, but Paul Scholes was still. Paul Pogba was still doing bits in that. When I look at those two, I'm not saying they're bad players. They're good. They're just good. When I look at a Saka, when I look at a Martinelli, they are levels above in their positions. As an example, when Jack Wilshere broke through, when Cesc Fabregas came through, I know that Cesc Fabregas was bought at 16-ish, but you could just see straight away 16, 17, 18-year-olds, they belonged. And I see that with Saka, and it's, Man United have it with Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood is a better football player than Rashford, and Rashford's very good. He saw that today, and I think Saka's of that same ilk. And I know he signed a new deal. What Arsenal just need to do, though, is build a team that's going to keep him there. That'd be the one fear I'd have as a gunner.
He signed a 5-year deal, Terry.
Mate, that doesn't mean shit. Arsenal, that doesn't mean shit. Trust me. What I mean is, if you don't improve for the next 3 or 4 years, you think Saka's going to spend his career with you. You need to improve.
Terry, how bad are we this season? And we don't have that many losses. We've drawn a lot of games. I could say, arguably, we've been unlucky for maybe 2 or 3. If we had those 2 or 3 games that I thought were unlucky in the bag, we would be 9 points ahead, and we'd be comfortably in the Champions League spots. I think people are overblowing and being overly pessimistic and maybe even negative at points. And we should look at the bright sides. We have a lot of young players. We have a good young core. And if they develop all together, and maybe next year, a couple of those draws, we have, I think, 15 or 14 draws, Terry. If we turn 2 or 3 of those into wins, we're comfortably ahead of Man United.
And that's cool. And that isn't the argument here. If you do that, then and you start going that next level, Saka's that good. He isn't going to. By the way, Mason Greenwood the same as Man United, Rashford the same. If we don't improve, they will leave. They are too good to sit between 4th and 7th and 8th. They're too good. They're too good for that.
Where would Saka? It's not about where he would go. Actually, forget about that. It's about the club are moving in the right direction. And what I see from the club this week, signing up those 2 young guys on big contracts, 10 times what they were originally making, from 3,000 to around 30,000. And Aubameyang's contract information that is heating up, in addition to Thomas Partey rumors that are heating up, and Upamecano rumors that are heating up, and also telling us that certain people are leaving, such as Kolasinac, such as maybe even Mustafi, definitely Socrates. Yeah. So those kind of signs, Terry, give me the light at the end of the tunnel.
So you agree with me?
Yes.
Because
there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
You are looking to improve. My point is, if you don't do those things and you don't progress, your better players will leave. I mean, we know that because it's happened for 15 years at Arsenal. And that's all I'm saying. He's a brilliant player. When you have brilliant players, you have to nurture him. I look at the Pogba situation at Man United. Why would he? Why? I know why he wants to leave, because for 5 years we haven't delivered on our promises, and these things happen. But listen, mate, well done today. 4 wins on the bounce. Big game against Leicester next. And listen,
we're gonna do you a favor. Don't worry.
Again, you've done us a favor today, and I hope you do us a favor again in a few days' time, mate. Speak to you soon. Take care. Thank you. Next up, Sonny is in the house. Sonny, what's going on, bro?
Do you know what, Terry? Turn your mic off. Turn your computer off. Turn the telly off. Get off your own channel, Terry. Don't even talk about Arsenal today.
Why?
Right? Because you ain't got the right, mate. Because today is our day. Hang on, I can't hold this camera right around. Today is our day, Tel. Today is our day. We don't want no United fans talking. We don't want no Chelsea fans talking. No Tottenham fans talking. It's all about us today. You know what, though? I'll tell you something. Football's a funny game, and it's going to come back and bite you in the arse at times, isn't it? Honestly, I'm scared to say what I'm happy, right? And I'm scared to even express it.
Say it.
You know what?
Say it, Sonny.
We ain't going to get Champions League. I can't say it. I can't say it. You know what? We've got to be very careful without being too gaslight. But I didn't see this. I don't even know what it is. I think we're something bloody middle of this. Soon my computer comes back. Hang on. Let me just have my phone, man. I've lost the plot, mate. I mean, I can't even. I'll be bloody phone the right way up now. I'm so pleased. Hang on. I'm going to sort this out. So bear with me, right? 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay. I don't really know what's going on with Sonny there. It's frozen. He'll be back in a moment. I think he's having a good day. He just can't control his phone right now. Which is making me giggle a little bit. Listen, I understood what a gal was saying, by the way, but I stand by it. And I mean it with all teams. If you've got a very talented youngster and you don't shape up, man will leave. I truly believe that. We've got Samuel we're going to throw in next. Samuel, welcome back to the show, mate. How are you?
Yeah, hello.
How you doing, mate? Guna, what do you make of today's performance?
Just great. I think the best performance of the season. We showed massive balls today. I think the best performer for me was Cedric. Looked impressive out of all of them. He looked far better than Bellerin. I mean, I'm more convinced with Cedric than I am with Bellerin. He looked comfortable. And Arteta is a miracle worker. He made Kolasinac, Luiz, and Mustafi a solid looking defense. I mean, all praise to Arteta, man. That's a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, you want 1-4 on a bounce, which is very, very good. Do you see this as a good sort of foundation building for Arsenal, or you don't want to get ahead of yourself? You still think there could be some real big bumps in the road?
Well, we've got tough fixtures, but I mean, we take it game by game. I think. Listen, we got to do what we have. The defense is what we have. We have to make the best of it. If we look at investment in the summer, bring in a top quality defender like Upamecano, I think then we can really be a good side and push on. As of now, this team is looking impressive. I think we shouldn't change the system. And for Leno, I think it's going to be difficult for him to get back in a team with Martinez. I mean, Martinez is a million times better than Kepa already.
It doesn't take a lot to be better than Kepa. I read somewhere the other day that Kepa is statistically the worst goalkeeper in Premier League history. For for the amount of games he's played and his save ratio is abysmal. I get that. I think when it comes to Arsenal, like I say, I think you've looked. Look, a couple of these results have been lucky. There's quite a few lucky goals scored. There's been a few we think, the Southampton game stands out. There was a couple of very lucky goals against Norwich as an example. But today was interesting because today was the first of 4 really tough games for Arsenal, where I think most people felt that you may come unstuck. So I think to put in, and again, the most impressive part of today, aside from Saka's goal, which was very good, was the level of comfort you had. There was a few hairy moments in the opening 20 minutes of the second half, but Arsenal pretty much had Wolves in their pocket, which is rare for Arsenal because they very rarely. The only other time I've seen you do that this season is when you battered us at the Emirates, when we just didn't get a sniff. But normally that doesn't happen to an Arsenal team when they play. But listen, Samuel, I appreciate you coming on, mate, having your say. We'll speak to you again. Take care, mate. Thank you. Sonny's back with us. You sorted your phone out, mate.
I turned to jelly, bruv. I've actually turned to jelly. I turned like David Luiz on a bad day. Honestly, I'm so gassed. I'm so gassed with one. Everyone who calls me a miserable bastard, I hate when Arsenal win. When Arsenal win, I'm totally the other way. Top 5 is on, bruv. Top 5 is actually on. And we can actually do it, so we can actually do it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The way Gal was talking is like we're the best team in Europe. That's the frustrating for me as an Arsenal fan. They've got performances like this in them, and it's those stupid mistakes what let us down time and time again. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, be on Leicester, be on the scum, and we'll see where we are there. And you know what? Liverpool on the beach, shouldn't they? So everything's possible.
Well, that's what's interesting, and you know what? Like a lot of Arsenal fans wrote off top 4. And I think that was based on this run of 4 games you've got. But if you beat Leicester and beat Tottenham, you then kind of go into that Liverpool game. As I say, Liverpool already been on the beach. It gives you a great opportunity. If you were to come out of these 4 games with, dare I say, 4 wins, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, and we have to say if at this moment in time, if Chelsea don't pick up points, if Chelsea lose tonight, you're only going to be 5 points behind them, and they're sitting in 5th as an example. And all it takes is a win or 2, and people can get a little bit nervous, a little bit jittery, and you've got to aim for that 5th spot's place, because if City do end up getting themselves banned, you never know, mate. You never know.
Tell you know what? Realistically, we probably won't get it right because we've got too much traffic in front of us, right? But what I wanted as an Arsenal fan, right, after a very very dire season, and last season as well, was to get a bit of pride back, and that's what. Even if we miss out, I want to hold my head up high and say, you know what, Arsenal have got a plan, they've got a direction, and they've got players who want to fight. And if we get that and we don't make it, I'll be happy with that, because I see saying to a man they performed today, but the scary thing was still, let's get it right. The scary thing was still, even though Wolves are a very hard team to beat at their ground, because they're a very good side, we are Arsenal, right? And really, Arsenal of old would be going to places like Wolves and turn them over. So let's not get deluded. We have drops. We have drops, and but it's good signs. I mean, Saka today, excellent. I thought Ceballos was dogged. One player I'm going to give massive praise for today, right? And I'll never thought I'd ever say it. Granit Xhaka, you become a man today, Granit Xhaka. Well done, bruv. Well done. You know what? 100%. I love my Arsenal. I love them.
No, I bet you do, mate. And it's look, I love banter in Arsenal, but I have to give credit where credit is due. It was a very good performance today, no doubt about it whatsoever, mate. But listen, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. We'll chat to you again soon, all right?
Love yourself. See you later.
Take care, mate. Bye. And as I've said a few times tonight already, very good performance from Arsenal. There's no doubt about it. Outside chance of top 4 qualification. They're not in control of their own destiny, because they have to get a number of teams above them have to drop points. But 3 wins on the bounce. They go into 3 really tough games back to back now, Arsenal. And who knows? They come through that with another 9 points. You know, could we see a little shock on our hands? What it will do if they come through this little period, Arsenal, with maybe with an additional 9 points, is what an amazing final couple of games we'll have. There'll be 2 games remaining at that point. You know, imagine if they're between Leicester, who are currently in 3rd, and Arsenal that are currently in 7th. Imagine there's only 3 or 4 points between everybody going into the last couple of games. It will be absolutely nail-biting and exhilarating. And that has to be what the majority of the league wants, because, you know, we want something exciting. There is a lot of battling at the bottom of the table, mainly between 4 teams now: West Ham, Watford, Aston Villa, and Bournemouth. Brighton have pretty much pulled themselves away now, being 9 points from 9 points into safety. It had such a brilliant run, Brighton, since the return. They really, really have. So I think they're going to be okay in relation to that. But the top 4 race is quite literally the most exciting element of the Premier League season. And it's just quite fitting that the 3 biggest clubs in Premier League history of Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United are right in the midst of it. But listen, everyone who's tuned in, you know how much we appreciate here at the Football Terrace. Please hit the like buttons and the share buttons. Get this out on your social media platforms. We'll be back live after Chelsea's game. We're working very hard for you to bring you live match reactions, as many things as we can. Be a live phone-in show afterwards to kind of review and assess the top 4 race, get people's views and opinions. We're going to do a bit of a mix show, get multiple fans on from multiple clubs. But until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.